day one. Okay. Okay. $50. Wait. Is that what I think it is? That's the outside. Open only in the event of my death. Simon, probably us, welcome to Mount Holy. You may not remember, but I have found memories of you many visits here as a young boy, and I hope this room provides you with as much amusement as it did those lost summer days. By the time you read this, I will assume you are fully aware of my last wishes and all the details of my bequest. Please do not mistake my intentions in giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. I assure you, nothing could have been further from my mind when I chose you as my heir. With that said, there are a few ground rules of this commission covered in the fine print of my will that I feel I should bring to your attention. No tools or items may be brought onto the estate from the outside. Okay, I can bring a tool inside. Tool and items found on the estate may not be taken off the estate. You may not stay overnight. It's kind of crazy that we inherit a house, a manor, and we can sleep in it, but okay. I don't suspect that any of this stipulation should prove an impediment for someone as resourceful as yourself, but it is very important to me that you start fresh each morning and not rely on the successes of the previous day. One final word of advice: do not assume the rooms you find today will be the same rooms you find tomorrow. These grounds have provided me a home for the last half a century, and even I am uncertain of which room lies behind any particular door. It's not convenient. My grandmother used to say, "Don't go where the path leads, abandon the path and go where you want it to lead." It's on my love wishes, blah 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 blah. Okay. What is that? Blueprint. This will serve as a useful map and inventory log during our adventure. Entrance Hall. Huh. I'm curious. So, what is it? Searching this that can be exhausting. Each time you enter a room you will lose. It's a 50 feet, okay. When you no longer have any footstep left, you will be too tired to continue searching the manor and must call it a day. There are cards here. An ace, a queen, a clock. Is there anything else in that room before I move on? Oh. If I go outside... Yeah, okay. I shouldn't have, but fine. Bedroom. Whenever you enter this room, you gain 2 feet. Okay. 2 items. Hallway. I still have enough feet, so footstep, I mean. That's why it's closed then. There is a key. Greater chance of finding items. Okay. And a key. I think I should go to the left before going to the... Another key. A rubbish. Some gold. Not a rubbish. How do you call that? A rubby? A gem. Okay. It is a nice place to stay, I would say. Okay, I can go right or I can go front. Let's go front, we'll see. Oh. Guest bedroom. But then there is no... yeah. Can't escape this. Car keys. Good. Sinclair, just wanted to write you a quick note thanking you for the weekend. I had a thrilling time on the hunt with Lord Evanson. Wait. Whose peculiar personality somewhat made up for your own absence. I also got to appreciate your new game in the BR room. It's been ages since I've seen the BR room in the house. I was beginning to suspect you retired the floor plan. It was well worth the wait though, as I always enjoy your mathematical puzzles and appreciate that I didn't need to know the rules of darts to play your variation, hoping your wells improve shortly. I have to say, this is a nice manor. I would love to stay here. Parlor, pantry, spare room. Okay. I'm curious. There is some gold here. This box is the middle box. The gems are in the middle box. Okay. Dear Herbert, it was a great honor receiving the invitation to dine in your estate with the old mans this past Thursday. If I'm being frank, it had been quite a while since we had been thin in decent society, and we were beginning to worry that my wife, wit, had lost its charms. I have no delusions to my company's rivals to hers. If I can refresh your memory, you both spent much of that evening discussing your mutual love of games and puzzles, and I had mentioned to you a rather singular parlor game I had played some years back involving 3 boxes of different colors. You had pressed me to write with the particular of these games when I found the time, and I've included with this letter all details you need to share with guests. You should be okay. There will always be at least one box which displays one true statement. There will always be at least one box which displays one false statement. Only one box of the prize within, the other 2 are always empty. Okay. At least one says something true and 2 says something false. Okay. So if this is true, the 2 other are false, and it would work. If this is true, this one can be true. At least one box is true. At least one box is false. But that means that it can be 2 truths and 1 false, or 2 false and 1 truth. If this is true, the 2 others are false, and it works. Because if the gem is here, this thing is true, this phrase is true, and the 2 others are false. But if the gem is here, if the gem is here, the gems are here. Sorry, there is several, apparently. If the gems are here, this phrase is true and the others are false. But if the gems are here, this gem is, this phrase is true and this is false. That makes 2 true. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Okay. It worked. No other door. Okay. Okay, I lose 1 goal when I entered the chapel, but then what? I have some gold. Here I could gain some items. But I don't know what the items are for, so. Let's try the chapel, we'll see. Okay, we can enter here. That's interesting. There is nothing interesting here. Or at least yet. 6, 4, 1, 2, 1, 7, 5. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have go to the chapel, but we'll see. Corridor is always left unlocked. West Wing Hall. Nursery. The Red Prince. Okay. There was a red prince who sat on the red throne. He had a red crown made of rubies and a red castle made of stones. The prince had a love for all things red. He's the only true color, the prince often said. He could not stand the sight of a canary or a crow. He could not stand the white or a swan in the snow. And he never looked up for fear of view. He had heard that the sky was not a red hue. So he always had a book to turn his eyes down if he was ever outside when the clouds were around. And do you know which book the prince always had? The one that made him happy whenever he was sad. A story he had read in the bath and the bed. And maybe you can guess which the clues that we have said. It was the story of a boy who also wore red, and he looked like a prince from his toes to his head. And as you, my reader, might already assume, this book is quite near you, in fact in the same room. A story about you, if it needs to be said, but one prince in his book, the red book you must read. Okay. So, was that the book, or is there another book? I think I have to go backward. Okay. Is there this? Question, if I go back to the room, do I get something again or not? No, it would have been too easy. Okay. We're back at the entrance. And this is the only door left now. I'm curious about the security. Oi, oi. Blue memos true, red memos lies. Welcome to East Police Security, please enter. No. Okay, I don't know what to do with that. We'll see that later. Blue memo true, red memo lies. Blue memo true, red memo lies. There's some coffee. Blue memo true, red memo lies. I don't see anything. I don't see any memos. If I enter the lavatory, I can go elsewhere after that. So let's go here. A journey not worthy. As you can continue your adventure, you may want to consider getting something to scribble down your notes and observation. A pad, a scrap of paper, perhaps the most fitting journal would prove to be an invaluable tool. Okay. Holy crap. I have to call it a day, I think. Because now I'm kind of stuck. There is nowhere I can go. Okay, I can wait for it now. Oh, there's a camp here. The camp said, due to the rules set for rectangles, you cannot stay in this state overnight. Luckily, however, your scouting skills have been put to good use to fabricate a very responsible offsite. Okay. From the blueprint menu. Okay. What is that? Okay. Okay. I have enough footstep, but I was too cautious with footstep. That's it. Okay, interesting. Entrance. Parlor. There is some blueprint in the parlor, so it's truth. Closet is dead end. Okay. Understood. Call it a day because I think I can do anything now. I guess I won't keep my item, right? day 2.